In this lecture, we are going to discuss about working principle of three-phase induction motor. You can see here in this diagram, this represents the stator. This is your rotor, and here we placed our rotor conductor, and the field of rotation is in clockwise direction. And with the help of this direction, this shows flux direction and the direction of motion of conductor. And the this figure represents when a force is induced and a force is acting on this conductor. After that, the direction is represented by this diagram. So a working principle of three-phase induction motor is, if let us consider here, if let us consider the stationary rotor, or let this conductor be subjected to the rotating magnetic field produced when a three-phase supply is connected to the three-phase winding on the stator. If rotation of the magnetic field is clockwise, as you can see here, then a magnetic field moving clockwise has the same effect as a conductor moving anti-clockwise in a stationary field. This is represented by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. A voltage will be induced in the conductor. Since the rotor circuit is completed either through the end rings or an external resistance, the induced voltage across a current to flow in the rotor conductor, as we had discussed in your previous lectures. By right hand rule, we can determine the direction of induced current in the conductor. Since the magnetic field is rotating clockwise and the conductor is stationary, so we can assume that the conductor is in motion. After that, with respect to the magnetic field, or by right hand rule, the direction of the induced current is outwards, that is represented by this dot you can see here. Now the current in the rotor conductor produces its own magnetic field, that is represented by this diagram. But we know that when a conductor carrying current is put in a magnetic field, a force is produced on it, that is represented by this diagram. So a force is produced on the rotor conductor. The direction of this force can be found by left hand rule, that is shown in this diagram. It is seen that the force acting on the conductor is in the same direction as the direction of the rotating magnetic field. Since the rotor conductor is in a slot of the circumference of the rotor, you can see here, this is the circumference of the rotor. So a similar torques are produced on all the rotor conductors. Since the rotor is free to move, it starts rotating in the same direction as the rotating magnetic field. So a three-phase induction motor is self-starting, since the operation of this motor depends upon the induced voltage in its rotor conductors. It is called an induction motor. So this is your principle of three-phase induction motor. Now the next topic is speed and slip. First of all, what is speed? For speed, we can say that an induction motor cannot run at synchronous speed. It is a very important point. Induction motor cannot run at synchronous speed. So let us consider for a moment that is rotor is rotating at synchronous speed. So under this condition, there would be no cutting of flux by the rotor conduction, and there would be no generated voltage. If there is no generated voltage, that means no current and no torque. So the rotor speed is therefore slightly less than the synchronous speed. So An induction motor may also be called as asynchronous motor as it does not run at synchronous speed. That's why the difference between the synchronous speed and the actual speed is called the slip speed. Remember that the difference between the synchronous speed and the actual rotor speed is called the slip speed. So the slip speed expresses the speed of the rotor relative to the field. As you can see here, ns is equals to synchronous speed in rpm. ns represents the synchronous speed and nr is equals to actual rotor speed in rpm. So slip speed is represented by s. Slip speed is represented by the difference between synchronous speed and rotor speed. So slip speed is equals to ns minus nr in rpm. If we are talking about slip, then slip is represented by s. You can see here slip is represented by s, and we have a formula for slip. S is equals to ns minus nr upon ns. This is the formula for slip, and here we are saying slip is in per unit. So this is your per unit slip, where ns is the synchronous speed, nr is the actual rotor speed, and ns is the synchronous speed. So slip is equals to ns minus nr upon ns, and slip is in per unit. If we are talking about percentage slip, then percentage slip means ns minus nr upon ns into 100. This represents your slip in percentage. Now frequency of rotor voltage and current. The frequency of current and voltage in the stator must be the same as the supply frequency. So frequency is equals to p ns upon 120, where f represents the frequency, p is equals to total number of poles, ns is equals to synchronous speed. So we have frequency f is equals to p ns upon 120. Now if we are talking about rotor frequency is represented by fr. So for rotor frequency, the frequency in the rotor winding is variable and depends on the difference between the synchronous speed and the rotor speed. Hence the rotor frequency depends upon the slip. So rotor frequency is given by, rotor frequency represented by fr is equals to p, slip is ns minus nr upon this is your slip speed, ns minus nr. So we have rotor frequency fr is equals to p ns minus nr upon 120. If we divide this equation by this equation, so we get fr upon f, and so in right hand also we divide this factor by this factor, so we get ns minus nr upon ns, and you know very well ns minus nr upon ns means your slip. So we can put the slip here. So we get fr upon f is equals to s. So after that we can say that fr is equals to s into f. So fr is equals to sf means rotor frequency is equals to product of slip and frequency. So we get a formula fr is equals to sf. But we are saying when the rotor is stationary means stand still condition. So if the rotor is in stand still condition or stationary, that means the speed of rotor will be 0. That means nr is equals to 0. So if we place the nr is equals to 0, that means s is equals to 1, means slip is equals to 1 or unity. So it is an important point, when the rotor is in stand still condition or in stationary condition, slip will be unity. So this is your speed, slip, frequency and rotor frequency. Thank you.